Yo, what is really good, my dudes? Welcome to another RuneScape news coverage video. For this video, we're going to look at a dev blog for the Group Ironman. This is actually the first dev blog by Ramen. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the video. Let's go.
Cats is the illest. What you talking about, Willis?
Alright guys, this has been a long time coming, but here is the first dev blog for the Group Ironman. Recently they put out a poll to get a general feeling about the several topics in relation to the updates. So the first part of this dev blog, they're going to look at the results of the poll and break down, each part of it and give some thoughts on them, or at least Mod Ramen's thoughts. And from there they can start the discussion and ensure they're moving in the right direction. Before they get started on this, they want to address an ETA for Group Ironman. They said when they announced at RuneFest, they said it was an active project that was being worked on and an ETA within the next 6 months after RuneFest. It's now June. It clearly didn't hit the goalposts they wanted. Sadly, they've run into some roadblocks, some engine work needed for the project. As it currently stands though, they do not know how long it will take to work around or through those issues, but they want us to understand that they're trying their best. So ultimately, no ETA. We're gonna have to wait and see, but hopefully these dev blogs come out at a regular basis and I will cover them as they do come out. Anyways, let's talk about the poll questions. First up, does anyone plan on playing Group Ironman? Majority says no, to be honest. I mean, it's a pretty simple question. It's just to get a feel for the community of who is interested in it, but I think part of it has to do with the fact that it's taken so long, or maybe people just don't even have interest in Iron Man altogether. I don't know, but the results speak for themselves. Next up, what is your desired group size? Anywhere from 2 to 5 and even more players. So it looks like, we've got pretty much everyone's everywhere. No one's like super inclined to one set of group size based on these results. Apparently, Mod Ramen says it's not a simple task as there's pros and cons to each group size, and he'll elaborate on each. For 2 players, it keeps the group small and allows pairs of friends to play and see if, as they see fit to their own speed. For 3 players, 1 person is alone, 2 people have a relationship pair. When it comes to 3, there's a big leap in perception. Within the 3, there's a greater sense of cohesion and cooperative power. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I guess that's how Mod Ramen feels. 4 players, personally, when we reach 4 players, there's more of a chance that someone within the group will fall behind if they're unable to play as much as the other 3. 5 players is a good clean group size, but it also makes it hard for players who struggle to find that many people for a group. And he wants to finish up that based on these results and our thoughts, as well as internal discussions, they realize it's not needed to set a single hard group size. Us as the players should have the freedom to group with however many people we see fit or desirable. Friends who want a duo together will have that option, and they shouldn't be locked out by content for the minimum group size. So once a group has been created, they will be classified into group sizes of 2, 3, 4, or 5. I guess 5 is the maximum. Each group size will have their own chat badge. While looking familiar, it'll be a way to differentiate between what group size you are in. The Iron Man armor set will also be available to Group Iron Man, and it will display the relevant icon based on that group size. Regarding the high scores, if the engine job allows it, they're gonna split it up to have high scores for each various group sizes. Next question, should a Group Ironman be able to group up with other Ironmen for bossing purposes? This one seems pretty mixed, to be honest. One of the biggest topics when it comes to Group Ironman mode is how is bossing going to work, and will Group Ironman be able to group up with other Irons to gain gear? Poll option 1 gauged if players were okay with Group Ironman teaming up with regular Ironman or Hardcore Ironman. Going by the general reaction from various platforms such as the forums, Reddit, Twitter, this is a absolute no. If we did allow Group Ironman to team up with seasoned Ironman, this will allow a boost quickly for better gear while skipping over a significant aspect of their chosen group, relying on members of your group for progression. Option 2 comes in at 36%. Whilst this seems like a reasonable option, it still runs into an issue of boosting down the line. Option 3 seems like the most ideal, however, adding a cap to group sizes could cause issues that bosses that require higher group sizes, such as raids, which is aimed at 10 players. As gear progression and resource gain from bosses is a key part of RuneScape and account progression, this topic is something they'd like to generate more discussion on. Moving on, what should happen if a member of a group leaves? You can see the breakdown. of the various different answers here. If a group's progressed their accounts as a team, but one of them decides that they'll be on their own and then decides to leave the group, they would expect to be downgraded to a solo Ironman account. However, you'd be wrong to think that, because this is not going to be happening. If a member of Group Ironman leaves the group, they will be downgraded to a normal account with no Ironman restrictions. Simple as that. The reason for this decision is they want to retain the effort current Ironman have put into their accounts as solo players. It would be very unfair for that to be devalued by a dodgy rule of Group Ironman, being that they can trade amongst their group. If a group member does leave, can they recruit a new one? So if somebody does leave your Ironman group, it seems appropriate to allow the group to recruit a new player. The best way to do this would be allow groups to only recruit fresh group accounts from the recruitment room. While this does have the argument of boosting, it does still follow the rule set as other members of the group have progressed with their original chosen group size. Going into a little bit of the behind the scenes now, he says, nothing is simple for this project. We'd have request some significant engine changes and support to actually allow it to even work. Group Ironman, that is. Currently, they've had some engine jobs come back, which makes some of the changes to the back systems of clans to allow Jagex to create a second hidden clan, as they're calling it, which will use to track and keep Group Ironmans in a group. The other job allows them to select a lower maximum size of a clan. Now, this does mean they need to give players a way of chatting without giving you the 5 backslashes or /GIM chat commands, and with Ninja recently releasing some tweaks and quality of life changes to the French chat system, it seems sensible to push players back towards that system. So will group banking be available for groups to use and share resources later? Simply put, doesn't look like it's going to happen. Engine work is required and would push the ETA for this project well into 2019. So don't expect group banking if you're making a Group Ironman team. Will Group Ironman be able to trade untradables between each other? This is a question that's actually thrown around a lot, apparently. And he says it's understandable. It seems quite cool change in the gameplay to be allowing untradables to be traded in members of a group. Technically, he says, as it stands, it cannot be done, but that doesn't mean that they will not attempt to explore other routes or methods of doing so. He says this is where they needs the community's help. If you have a certain set of items you think should be traded, then do let Mod Ramen know. Otherwise, allowing all would be game breaking, like trading away quest items early, trading XP lamps from quests, etc. Knowing what you want to trade will help them decide if it's feasible or not, so give your feedback. Moving on, how will you make a group? So to create a account eligible for this mode, you'll need to create a whole new account and select the Group Ironman mode drop down on the character creation screen when you first log in. Upon creating a character with the drop down mode selected, you'll be sent to the Ironman Guild. From here, you'll find yourself in a group creation room. You won't be able to leave this room until you have a group that you're ready to venture into the game world with. From here, you'll have the option of being thrown straight into the world or go through the tutorial. Though if you're playing Group Ironman mode, obviously you played the game before, so you could probably just skip right into the game. Now, I did mention that there is an Ironman Guild. We'll talk about it briefly as he touches on it. Mod Ramen, he says, we'll be moving Mr. X and the Ironman high scores into a themed location, a central place for all things Ironman related. However, they don't currently have a location in mind, so if we've got any ideas, then let Mod Ramen know as to where you'd want the Ironman Guild to end up with, as well as any ideas for the kinds of content you would like to see in the guild itself. So do let Mod Ramen know. And that pretty much wraps it up for the first dev blog of the Group Ironman mode. Let me know what you think about it. Are you going to be playing this mode at all, or do you not care whatsoever? Either way, let me know. Love to hear your thoughts. I'm going to wrap up the video there. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. I am out. Peace.